if you say so.
Are you serious? Going to exploit the entire castle? We have to get out of here.
How? If we're
Can't you
in
feel
the
this thing
air...
is coming apart? You can see the walls shaking, man.
Yeah, but if we're in the air, it's not like we can jump.
Okay, so while you are deliberating, you hear a movement behind you, Conrad. You turn around, and at the top of the stairs, there's a shadowy figure in a cloak.
Detect evil?
It responds as evil. It kind of looks at you, and its eyes are glowing red. From beneath its sleeves, incredibly razor-sharp needles kind of come out like nails.
Oh, lovely. So I'd yell for the guys of, something's here and it's not good.
Run!
It starts sliding down the stairs towards you. It's not even stepping, it's just kind of floating towards you. And you hear a raspy breath as it gets close. No.
I'm going to try to take a step back to keep my distance from it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, what do you want?
I run to the stairs.
Death?
Very, very fast.
So you guys run to the stairs. Are you heading down?
The other doors are closed, so I think I want to go down.
The other doors aren't closed. They're not necessarily locked, but yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
As we start to run away from it, I'm going to turn and throw a fireball at it.
Got you. Fair dues.
Hold on just a second. No. Too many things going on.
No worries. You guys over here, I should say, start running down the stairs. You find yourselves in what seems to be a small kitchen, proportionately far too small for a building this size. There isn't actually any food down here.
Okay. Is there anything else in the kitchen?
Yep, there seems to be all the usual utensils you would expect.
Great. I grab a frying pan.
Excellent. You now have a frying pan. It counts as a club.
Can I see a trash can somewhere with a lid on it, possibly?
There is just some kind of chute. It's like a waste chute.
Okay.
I'm going to try to, retreat, but at the same time, I'm going to let one of those go.
Okay, so first off, Ember, is it still an actual fireball first, or is it
Whispers.
Right.
Nope.
Okay, fair enough. So roll me a CMB. Okay. You throw out your black tentacles. They erupt from the ground just as you'd expect. But this thing doesn't seem affected by them. It's kind of gliding over them. The tentacles are writhing around, trying to grab hold.
I didn't expect that at all. I expected fireball.
Photos. Oh dear. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so Conrad, you did channel positive energy. Is that
Will?
Okay, fair enough. Let's see what happens. Alright, failed. As you channel positive energy, this creature seems to recoil. It doesn't seem damaged, but it doesn't like it, and it's kind of gliding back fast. And it suddenly disappears. Poof.
Did the shuddering and everything stop yet?
Nope. It's not happening all the time. It's just every now and then you can kind of feel another tremor come through. Sometimes a bit of mortar dust will trickle down from the ceiling, that kind of thing.
Alright, well, I kind of look back to Ember and say, well, channel positive energy seemed to hurt it. Or at least he didn't like it.
Okay. I mean, good for you.
No. Let's see what else there is. So, downstairs...
I can't do that. So.
Well, I don't know. Have you tried? Well, have you honestly said you've really tried?
I guess not, no.
Yeah, there you go, you see. Alright. You guys in the kitchen, is there anything else you'd like to do down here?
Is there another exit down there?
Nope.
Then I run back up.
Okay. Pop, pop, pop. Back up. Korin, anything you'd like to do?
I think I'll. Is there another frying pan?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so it counts as a club, which is D6 blunt damage, I believe.
And then I'll.
Oh, I'm guessing it's not a piercing thing, so...
No, just making... Because in a 5th ed, it's D4. But in this, it's D6, so I was just remembering.
For gnomes, it's still a D4.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Gong! Works entangled, it'll work here.
What?
Alright. Where would you guys like to go?
Well, I run to the next door close to me, so...
Okay. Do you open it?
Of course.
Alright. So this is a large dining hall. A huge table is in the middle. There are supposed to be chairs all around it. They're just not on the map, but you know.
Okay.
All set in. And in the middle is a large, elaborate candelabra, I should say. And there is another window here, facing out to the north.
Yeah, we see.
And there's another door in the back.
Is there any food on the table?
Nope. There's no plates, no cutlery out, or anything like that.
Just the empty table with one candlestick.
And the chairs, yes.
Right. I run up the table, grab the candlestick.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check. Yeah, that's alright. So you run up. You basically jump at the table because it's like over your head in height. You manage to get up there and you kind of slide across the laminated surface. It's just like... and just reach the candlestick.
Grab it. Mine! You don't take candle!
It's actually quite heavy. Seems to be made of silver.
If I can carry it, I'll still take it with me.
Yes, you can carry
Everything can be a weapon.
it. That's true.
Could also use it as a door wedge, maybe. So, you never know.
That's very true.
Are there candles on it as well, or just a candlestick?
There are candles attached to it, yes, but they're not
Okay.
lit.
Okay.
What about we try this room here?
Yeah? Okay. So you open a small door and you enter what seems to be some kind of leisure room. There is a game set out here, some kind of drafts. And there's a piano, of course, and there's a harp in this corner. Much like everything else you've seen so far, everything is really clean, but it all seems very old. It's kind of strange. It's almost like sterile, yet old.
Or
I feel like I remember that room.
Maybe.
Why do I feel like I remember that room?
I haven't. I've never been there before.
That's interesting.
There
Go
are-
to my other end of this.
Exactly. There's no visible exit doors.
Not out of there.
On to the next one. Get
Okay.
the hell out of here.
I mean, there are windows.
Yeah, but high up. They're too high for a small gnome. Not to mention that the front door exited into nothingness and air.
Bonk. Okay, bear with me a second. Alright, so this room is a extremely large gallery. There are several, basically like display cases around. Well, several. There's 4 of them parallel, and in the middle is a group of angeled statues surrounding another statue,
Okay.
which seems to be a man dressed in a cloak, like a hooded figure. On the far side, there is an extremely large tapestry. And sorry if I have to shout at my cat in a minute. Sorry. That's okay. Yeah. That is what is in here. What would you like to look at?
I would like to look from the door side into the entire room and see if the positioning of stuff reminds me of something in a magical nature. There's some resemblance to anything magical that I could be familiar with in setups or practices. Don't know.
Okay, roll me Knowledge Arcana.
You mean spellcraft?
Oh, yeah. No, hang on. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. 17.
Alright. There's nothing about the layout of the room, like the feng shui or anything. There's nothing about that in particular that's catching your eye. But it seems like some of these items in these display cases, maybe they could be magical. It's hard to tell from the door. Conrad, you're a lot closer. And as you're looking around, you can see that there's various items in here. Like some of them are like necklaces. Some of them seem to be like old relics, that kind of thing. But they're all very, very different from one another, and they range from what seems to be the expensive to mundane. So where there is a gold necklace, there is also a daisy chain. Where there is a solid lump of gold, there is also some kind of mortar brick. They're all covered by what seems to be glass as well, so they're not just like laid on there. Nothing in here particularly seems like it's magical, though, upon closer inspection. Anything else in this room you'd like to look at more closely? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, never mind. The tapestry catches your eye. Lol. Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Give me a second. Okay. As you look at it, you see a raft of... Oh, for God's sake, cat, come here. Get out of the way. See a raft of familiar images. Things you can't help but feel like you've seen before. So, to start with, let's just go through here. Bonk. This is what you see. Obviously, it's not a real tapestry, but it's the best I could do. As you go through, everything kind of looks familiar. So, is there anything you'd like to look at particularly on this tapestry? You may get more details if you focus on them.
I don't remember this thing.
Sorry.
That's the demon that killed Uga. Most likely.
That certainly seems to be some kind of demon. You seem to, when you look at it, you remember seeing them before. You've seen many demons that look like this.
Oh, okay. It's just a demon in general.
Yeah, and you remember the whole thing with them emerging into Ryzeland. It all comes back to you again.
I would like to focus on this one. It's the only one I don't remember.
Okay.
What was his name?
You remember a man who had some kind of agenda. He was working in a city, and you remember him working as a right-hand man for a king. As you focus on it more, you remember the place was the Korin kingdom, and this man was the head of the Dai Li, and his name was Kaiyan Wang.
Oh, that one.
And he is the one who killed Uga.
Right. Oh, wow, they look the same.
Korin, by the way, you can join in on this if you want. This is yeah.
Oh, if that was Wang, then this must be what's his name?
Yeah, that's Mr. Fuckface who I would like to have killed last game, but never got the chance to. That's Mr. I will abduct anyone who I need. Doesn't matter.
Who were they? The two
blanks.
guys that were blanks.
Yeah, the blanks.
As you say blanks, you remember there was two of them. They were both dressed the same, and they caused you a hell of a lot of trouble over the time. All you remember is the name of one of them, which was Oxford. There was another, but for some reason you can't quite recall his name.
Well, Oxford was the good one, sort of.
Can you guys hear me?
Was the more helpful one.
Now we do.
Okay.
He's the one who helped with the cannon.
As you look at this closely, you start to see that this is arranged in order of when things happened, from left to right. And
What is this? What is this one?
That's the tower on which we fought the demon general, and on which, of course, the horse was awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
That was the whole elevator thing, right?
This was the fight with the paladins and the cavalry from there.
Mm-hmm.
Assume.
Okay, so yeah, the tower was in Marola. It's where you helped the elves, and you did in fact fight on top of the tower, yes, and dealt with a demon general there.
Yeah, we almost killed ourselves because we burned the top of the tower.
You remember looking at the picture of the cavalry charge? The guy in the main image, sorry, the focal point of that image.
Kill a paladin.
He is a paladin. And you remember your adventures in Tertia, trying to solve a civil war between the rich class and the poor and the working class.
That was the paladin I smited.
That was the paladin you smited. And as you recall, his name was Dean Torrance.
Yeah. Last time we saw him, he was facing off against the demon invasion, trying to push them back.
Mm-hmm. Korin.
Wish we could grab this picture and then write notes on it.
You can.
I can.
Yeah, you can just take a screenshot and. There you go.
Okay.
So Korin, as these things are being revealed, you can kind of remember it yourself, but it's weird because you don't seem to remember anywhere near as much as the rest of these people who are with you.
So that woman, is that the elven leader that was with Conrad?
Which one?
The one after the paladin between the tower.
Yep, you recall her as being Lady Kinnear, and she ended up being the leader of the elves once you dealt with the Marola Tower incident, and she helped you in the last battle of Ryzeland.
Then the top left bitch is the princess who Braun took the underpants from.
The childlike princess.
Yeah.
Yes, Princess Xenia, and as you look at her, a lot of memories come back.
Is that our lawyer? Down at the bottom?
Yep. That is Anya Ano. She also helped you, and you helped her, before she was taken away by somebody.
Yeah, by Mr. Blank.
Yes. And do you remember what he said when he took her away?
That there was a reason they needed her, and that she wouldn't come to her.
Okay, as you look at the picture of Princess Xenia, you kind of remember the last thing you did with her was try and keep her safe by putting her into a pocket dimension. You put another person to guard her who you can't quite remember, unless anyone does remember her, and that was the last you saw of her. Because
Ferris.
That's right. You remember the name, and immediately you remember the person. There was a lady called Faris who had travelled with you for some time, and she ended up guarding Princess Xenia in a pocket dimension because people kept trying to abduct Princess Xenia, and she's been abducted several times in the past.
What did they call her? The closest term I can remember is seed. That she was like a neutral or something like that. She was one of very few whose souls could be used or could do something like restart the world, basically.
She was the reset button. One of the few.
Basically, yeah. And that's why they wanted her.
Good memories, guys.
Yeah. Because we know that the almighty all-father bitch-slapping god who created everything, including his godly children, was set free from the abyss, or whatever it was called, the darkness. And he was trying to convey a plan in order to reset the entire world and everything in it. Or basically the entire cosmos and rearrange it, start it anew.
Interesting.
No, I haven't written any of that down. That's just it's useless stuff. I remember useless stuff.
It's rude. Okay, anything else you'd like to look at in particular, Close, or are you done? It's up to you.
Well, we could take a look at the dice god, who kept rolling a 1 and a 20.
You mean this?
Yeah, the dice god.
When you see
You weren't there.
When you see that image, it reminds you of a last stand you made on the cusp of the void, Well, your only choice was to fight the creator god himself, the god of all gods. At which point he went through several different forms, just like an anime. Lol. And one of them was a giant evil 20-sided object, which had ridiculously powerful abilities. But you overcame that, and you managed to vanquish him, and you start to remember the whole fight you had, and what was at stake, which was, of course, Ryzeland itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that god was the entity who lived in the void, and of course you remember afterwards that you had to seal yourselves away in the void.
Yeah, that's when we used the door, and that's where it ended. So, bottom right picture is not in the timeline, as far as I remember it. That's new.
That is new.
Because we ended at the door, and then everything went dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the last thing. We had to push him back through the gate and then go through it ourselves.
Yeah, so the last picture, bottom
Close
right,
it from the inside.
Doesn't compute in this picture gallery, so
Okay, so
focus on that one.
Mm-hmm.
hold on. What's
And
the
then-
eagle?
Jackass still steps in. Although,
What's
could that
after-
also be the thing we saw in the throne room just a few minutes ago?
Similarities.
Okay, back up a second here. What's the eagle represent?
Okay, as you look at the eagle, you remember such things as a winged sky elf, names like the Terror of the Skies,
Oh, yeah.
and you remember a giant rock bird and a battle with it, and then releasing it at the end to fight in the Battle of Ryzeland.
Yep.
Okay, anything else on this?
Yeah, focus on the bottom right.
The floating lanterns.
Yes. As you look at that, you recall something known as the Festival of Lights. Actually, Ember, you wouldn't know this.
We lost someone there.
Yes.
Due to the
For
assassin.
some strange reason, Morpycaner can remember this. None of the rest of you can. But
Yeah, it was a really nice festival that was being held there once every few years, I think it was. Somewhere around Mount Kaiju.
Yep.
And we had a nice time there. We even had some nice fist fight in the arena ring, which was on a platform above some water. Of course, our friendly dwarf in the party didn't like water that much. So he floated instead of drowning. He was so scared shitless.
One of the warriors in the party was unfortunately killed at that time, and there was a funeral during the Festival of Lights itself.
Yeah. We buried two that day. Because she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. She was.
I'm sorry, I remember too much.
That's alright, I'm glad someone does. It means it's gone in. Okay, but for some reason you can't quite understand what this is. Why is this here?
Of course! That's the
remember
dire hippo that killed Mistopheles. The one that we found underneath the Grand Pyramid scheme. Hidden in a large rock cave formation.
Well, it wasn't under the pyramid, but yeah.
No. That was let loose after the rebels blew up the castle with dynamite.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
then
that's the
I
second time
basically
we
took on
found it.
single-handedly.
I mean, the first time we saw it was when Mistopheles tried to go past it. Because he wanted to.
Because
And then
Dragon was like, I don't know how to punch that, and backed off.
Yeah.
So it was basically me and the two war golems, and we lost one of the war golems fighting it.